It's all about you.
Hey, my little Austinators. It's that special time of year where gorging on unlimited amounts of candy and scaring the crap out of your friends are socially acceptable. Halloween has always been my favorite holiday. I love the candy, the parties, the costumes. Speaking of costumes, just wait till you see who I dress up as. Anyways, I wanted to take this time to give back to my loyal fans. So to celebrate this spooky season, I'm giving away my mint condition signed Time Force Pink figure. It's going to be hard to part ways with this, but I'm a really good person and it'll go to a great home. I'm just kidding. This isn't the prize. But I had y'all going in the first half, didn't I? No, the real prize is a 5-minute space time with yours truly. All you have to do to enter is follow me on Space Talk at the Ranger T, like this video, and comment a picture of you slaying your Halloween costume. I can't wait to see all of your entries. So until next time, stay beautiful and stay you. Mwah. All right, how was that?
That was good, Austin, but it wouldn't hurt to do another take.
Really? I thought I served it.
Yeah, I mean, we swayed it, but my finger was over the wind, sorry.
What are you doing?
A Psycho Ranger!
A silver one. Metallic Star Wand. Summon Star Strike Bow. Alright, Psycho. Take another step and it's lights out.
Alright, it's me. Put the bow down, killer.
Ray, are you serious? What, you didn't scar Glitchy enough when you decapitated Professor Cog and threw his head at him?
I didn't mean to scare you guys. I just wanted to show off my costume for the party. Did you know this is the same suit Zane wore to trick the Psycho Rangers? I bought it at a Carovian auction for 5,000 space bouillon.
Must be nice to be rich.
After 10,000 years, I'm free! It's time to conquer Earth!
Ah, Space Witch!
Oh, no, little dude. It's just me, Ambi.
Jesus Christ, is everyone going to traumatize Glitchy tonight?
Oh, come on, Austin. It's Halloween. Everyone's entitled to one good scare.
Yeah, in Glitchy's case, it's 2. Makes up for us being grounded by Grandmaster Emerald last year for not answering the Pandora Protocol. Thanks again, Ray.
Oh my Grid, are we seriously still talking about that? I made up for it, right? We got our metallic star weapons, did we not?
I love it when we make Ray crack.
It's my favorite pastime.
What are you two laughing at?
Nothing.
I thought so. Anyways, are you and Glitchy gonna put on your costumes? We don't want to be late.
Yeah, what are you two dressing up as? Is it something really scary?
Well, I'm dressing up as... Curio!
Surely terrifying, Austin.
And what about you, little dude?
Oh my god, this is gonna be so freaking cute.
Thanks for asking, Andy. Me and Austin have been working really hard on my costume. I hope it's not too scary for you guys. I decided to dress up as a terrifying... kitty! Meow.
Glitchy's really laying it on thick that he wants a new pet.
Oh my god, that is so adorable!
Adorable. Austin, this costume is supposed to be scary.
I'm sorry, Glitchy. It's kind of hard to make you look threatening.
Yeah, I'm sorry, little guy. I'm not ripping on your costume, but you're just too sweet to scare us.
Instead of scared and chompy.
Speaking of Chompy, Ray, did you even bother to make him a costume?
I didn't, but there is a mode I unlocked when I was sticking around inside his system to see if he has a battleizer mode like Little Rexy.
Which I'm sure will unlock when we're in a dire situation.
Should you even be tinkering around in there? You don't know what you're doing.
You want me to show you the mode or not?
Oh please, how scary could Chompy be? This stupid baby dinosaur. And we can't even talk.
Chompy! Here, boy! Metallic Star Wand. Activate battle mode.
That's number 3.
Seriously, Ray, did you really need to grow Chompy to such a ferocious size?
What? You asked! With this mod, I think Chompy will be a great asset to our team.
Well, if it's good enough for Izzy, it's good enough for Chompy.
So are we ready? I just ordered a space taxi.
A space taxi?
Yeah. That's why we docked the StarShip in the spaceport. I don't need to be rolling up to a dinosaur museum in a giant spaceship.
That's fair.
Then let's go!
I am totally gonna win the costume contest this year. I can feel it in my jellies.
Glitchy, you coming or do you need a minute?
I need to go potty first, Asti. I'll meet you outside in a minute.
Okay. Guys, wait up, this cushion head is heavy.
I'll show those big meanies who the scary one is.
So, Ray, where's the costume party this year? You said something about a museum, right?
Yeah, it's at the Amber Beach Dinosaur Museum. This space taxi is gonna cost extra for multiversal travel.
Well, you can afford it, and it'll be worth it if we get to meet one of the Dino Charge Rangers. Except for James fucking Navarro. Actually, no, wait, I do hope we get to meet him.
Did you guys say the Dino Charge Rangers might be there? That could be great contact for Space Talk if I can do a live with Chase and Riley. I'll ask them about the allegations.
What allegations?
Girl, you know.
Speaking of Dino Charge,
Here he goes.
it's funny we're going to a Halloween party in the Dino Charge dimension, since those Rangers had some pretty wild Halloween shenanigans.
Yeah, I remember the first one with the imposter. Classic.
What's the other one again? I forgot.
Oh god, that one was scary. They went on trial at the Halloween Intergalactic Court.
Ooh, those pumpkins give me the chills.
Really, guys? A bunch of jack-o'-lanterns? What are they gonna do? Stare at me with their cutout eyes?
The Halloween Intergalactic Court is the highest court in the multiverse. They have the power to vaporize anyone that gets 10 strikes in the court. Both the Dino Charge and Ninja Steel Rangers were nearly vaporized by them.
And the gruesome grunts were vaporized by them.
Well, shit. I hope we don't come into contact with them.
Don't worry, Austin. I don't think we currently have anyone out there that wants us dead.
For now.
Well, there's the space taxi. Austin, where's Glitchy?
He should be coming. He said he had to go... potty. Wait, where are we?
Ah, fiddlesticks, did we get transported to the literal grid again?
Guys? Remember how we just talked about the Halloween Intergalactic Court?
Yeah.
I think that's where we've been teleported to.
Are you sure?
Well, judging by the Court Witch, Mummy Guard, Cloak Jury, and the sign in the front of us that says Halloween Intergalactic Court, yeah, Austin, I think we are.
Oh, hell no, I am not going back to Halloween Intergalactic Jail again.
Calm down, guys. This must be some big misunderstanding. All we gotta do is convince the judges that there must have been some error, and we'll be on our way to the costume party.
I hope so.
Austin, I'm a prince. I think I can figure it out of this.
The Halloween Intergalactic Court is now in session. All rise for the 3 pumpkin judges.
Ray, who's the weird trumpet guy?
That's the court jester. He's essentially the new right hand to the pumpkin judges after the previous right hand, Scumlaw, was revealed to be a crooked attorney.
Well, that makes me feel better.
The Halloween Intergalactic Court is now in session. Next case. The Power Rangers have been accused of destroying innocent monsters. How do you plead?
Your Honors, I'm not sure if you know who I am, but I am Prince Raymond of Korovia, not to mention the Silver Ranger and leader of the Grid Rangers
Silence!
Oh, okay.
You sure showed them, Your Highness.
Listen carefully. For every crime that you're found guilty of, you get a strike. If you get 10 strikes, the punishment is destruction.
Wait a second. We're on trial for destroying monsters? Beyond the shenanigans with Lord Shadow, we haven't really harmed anyone, have we?
Oh my god.
What?
Nugget.
And all those X-Borgs and Bruisers we fought in the legendary battle.
And that weird yellow guy with the long-ass nose.
Well, I wasn't present at either of those, so...
But you were present when we killed those evil rangers in the mirror dimension, and when we blasted down those squid drills.
Son of a bitch, you're right. Ugh.
Also, Ray, let's not forget you just decapitated Professor Cog and mounted his head on the wall of the Starship Lounge.
Alright, Austin, I get it.
Hear ye, hear ye. Court will be in recess while the jury decides a verdict for the defendants.
So, Ray, what's the chance of us surviving this?
I'm not sure, Austin. The court jester somehow had records of all our battles, which pretty much made us look like a bunch of bloodthirsty beasts.
Well, what should we do while we wait for our fate to be decided?
Good question.
A project has been requested for the Grid Rangers Metallix from Gridmaster Emerald.
Read the room!
Whatever, this could be a good distraction.
That's the spirit, Amber. Meta, open notification.
You are tasked to discuss every Halloween event in the Power Rangers timeline.
How topical.
Well, guys, this might be the last thing we ever do, so let's make it count.
Yeah.
Sure.
Meta, begin recording our discussion on the Halloween events in the Power Rangers timeline.
Begin recording Halloween discussion in 3, 2, 1.
Halloween events, let's discuss. First up, we have 4 Mighty Morphin Halloween episodes.
Go, go, Power Rangers! You mighty Morphin Power Rangers!
And the first one's barely a Halloween episode, Life's a Masquerade.
It counts.
It does because it aired on Halloween season every year for the longest time, but this is technically not on Halloween. I'm only counting this because it has that vibe. The Angel Grove View Center is holding a masquerade party, while in the Sentai footage, where nothing really relates to the plot of the episode, Rita Repulsa is digging up a big old ball of super putty in some random ass cave. To relate to the Halloween event, she sends down a monster, which is kind of skirting the line of copyright, but Frankenstein is in the public domain. Frankenstein's monster is the monster of the week, and everyone thinks it's Tommy because he is nowhere to be seen.
Technically, it does because Universal holds the copyrights on any Frankenstein monster that has bolts on its neck, which is why the new Frankenstein in Monster High does not, and her skin is blue. Because they had special licensing for her to have green skin and bolts on her neck.
Oh, so a specific Frankenstein is in the public domain.
A specific look for Frankenstein's monster.
So with green skin is under copyright.
Green skin and bolts.
Because the Frankenstein monster in this episode has gray skin.
But he has the bolts, which is also still skirting the copyright, because that's why she doesn't have them anymore, I don't think.
So, of course, there is shenanigans with the Frankenstein monster. He dances with a girl dressed as the bride of Frankenstein. Get it?
What's so funny is she runs up to him and is like, "It's our song, let's dance." And there's like nothing playing. It's just the background music.
It's just that Mighty Morphin.
Everyone thinks it's Tommy because Jason David Frank played the monster.
Yeah, but he did play the monster in original footage. While Tommy is trying to get ready for the masquerade party, he gets his ass kicked by putties because he's Tommy in season 1. Let's talk about some highlights from this episode. Alpha sneaks into the party as himself because I guess the Alpha suit is the perfect costume for a masquerade party, and he gets all the girls. He's a big man.
Alpha's got bitches.
He's got all the maidens.
Billy says,
It's time for molecular transmutation!
because he's a nerd. The scene where people are running from Rita Repulsa on a giant ball of putty is pretty campy. And then she's like,
Running won't do you any good. There's no place to hide. I won't destroy you right now, but I'll be back. You Earthlings haven't seen anything yet, but you will real soon. Have a nice day.
She's so considerate.
there's a really dark scene when Frankenstein's monsters are destroyed because he literally gets drilled in the stomach by Dragonzord's Battle Mode's drill.
The fact that they did all that and we're the ones on trial.
We're on trial for fighting X-Boards and Squidrills.
Self-defense.
They stabbed a monster in the stomach with a drill. Why aren't they at the Halloween Intergalactic
In
Court?
front of children. Get out of here, man.
And also, on top of that, Tommy makes a joke about the monster being stabbed in the stomach.
Talk about poor timing.
All right, let's talk about the best part, the costumes. So Jason is dressed as a Robin Hood, steal from the rich, steal from the poor. Zach is dressed as a pharaoh, no shirt, very golden.
Grumdilliumptious.
He's trying to impress Angela. She's at the party too.
What was she dressed as?
I do not remember. She is literally in there for 3 seconds and then I did not put a screen cap in there, so whoopsie. So Billy is dressed up as Sherlock, not the last time we will be seeing a smart boy Malfoy play Sherlock. And he has a pipe in his hand. So are we encouraging smoking, Saban?
Real nice. What's kind of funny, this is like when they were doing all the Dare stuff, and then he's just like smoking.
There were Dare posters all over the youth center in this era, which is kind of funny. And they did campaigns too. So Trini is getting a little cultural appropriation-y, and she's Pocahontas. Yeah. Kimberly is a medieval princess.
Work. Cute.
Tommy is Frankenstein at the end, because we wanted to do a little wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Alpha 5 is himself. Moving to a little bit of an improvement on the Halloween entertainment side, Trick or Treat. Another episode that technically isn't on Halloween. It's a Halloween themed game show called Trick or Treat. So Kimberly and Skull are picked as contestants for this game show. So both their friend groups dress up to support them, except for Tommy. He's off doing karate things for some reason and fighting putties in a pumpkin patch. I guess it wasn't that important because the second Zordon is like, hey, we got a wrapping pumpkin. They're like, oh, okay. But speaking of pumpkins, Rita is sowing some pumpkin seeds to grow her wrapping wizard known as the Pumpkin Wrapper, which is a pretty iconic Mighty Morphin monster. They made a pop.
Yeah, and a figure.
We get pumpkin putties this episode, which were kind of cool and campy. And there's like a little scene where those little pumpkins attach to the Rangers' heads for a second, and we get that giveable moment of them trying to get the pumpkins off their heads. Pretty iconic moment. All right, let's talk about some highlights. The dry wrap the Rangers spilled to lure a pumpkin wrapper was pretty good in a so bad it's good way.
It's a trick or treat.
You're incomplete. To the Power Rangers you can be.
All you are
It's pumpkin meat.
Pumpkin wrapper has some pretty iconic raps too.
Oh, you Rangers making me mad. Waking me up with the rap that bad.
So let's talk about the costumes. Jason, Zach, and Billy are all Musketeers. They're the three Musketeers.
Boring.
Trini is, I have no idea. She kind of looks like a genie.
Something that's maybe not the most culturally aware.
Again, Trini. I think Kimberly is a Renaissance woman.
I think she's just doing another take on her last costume with some kind of princess or noble person.
Bulk was a mummy, and Skull was a prisoner with the Les Miserables numbers on his chest.
One day more.
This is probably one of the better ones.
For Mighty Morphin.
Why is there a Halloween-themed game show? I don't know how lucrative that is. But
I mean, I love Halloween themes, so I would have been down to watch it.
A Halloween-themed game show works around Halloween, not around the rest of the year.
Well, you film them before Halloween anyway, though, so.
We're currently at a Halloween-themed court, so can we really talk? All right, next up, Lord Zed's Monster Heads.
Oh my god.
I will not be talking about this much because we did a commentary on that, 3 years ago?
Yes, sir. And it was just as bad.
It is a direct-to-video, I guess, special that has Lord Zed preparing for Halloween, and it's just stock footage of him getting ready for a Halloween party with monsters. And he's like, remember the time we did this?
It's just a clip show.
It is literally a clip show, nothing original. The end party is just stock footage from the wedding. Not so good. I guess it's good back in the day when not every episode was on VHS and you could see these fights.
You're being really generous.
I know.
It's like, I'm just looking for all those positive things, even though it's all dog shit.
It is dog shit. I shouldn't be defending that.
You really shouldn't, but I appreciate you trying. One of us has to be nice.
Alright, that's it. Let's talk about the best Mighty Morphin Halloween episode, Zed's Monster Mesh.
Oh, really?
I think this is the best one.
Okay.
It's actually on Halloween. The first two weren't on Halloween. They were just a Halloween game show and a costume party. So, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, 3 of them anyways. This is the first episode after half the cast walked off the set.
Awkward.
Very awkward. So, Billy, Kim, and Tommy are volunteering at the youth center on Halloween to take kids trick-or-treating. Because I guess the parents of Angel Groves are too fucking lazy to take their own kids trick-or-treating.
This community outreach program was a great idea.
Thank you.
Just knowing you teens will be chaperoning my daughter makes me feel a lot better about Halloween.
It's our pleasure, Mrs. Marks.
Yeah.
They're kind of shitty anyway. Look at the movie.
They're just too busy leaping to the doom.
Yeah, leap to you down.
I had a week back. About a week back.
Alright, so Zed's in the party mood again, I guess, and he wants to invite Tommy as his guest of honor.
That's nice.
Which is just a dark forest at night with cobwebs and tombstones. Get a fog machine, there you go. It's a different dimension. It's not just the woods at night.
A little ooky, a little spooky, just, you know.
A tombstone monster brings a bunch of G2 monsters back to life to fight for the 1000th time this season. Season 2 really liked reusing those G2 monsters. They paid a lot for them.
Well, yeah.
Absolutely.
So he gets his ass kicked for a while until Billy and Kimberly show up to fight a giant pumpkin wrapper. Because pumpkin wrapper is one of the first monsters, and for most of that fight, he's just like spitting out wraps and then he grows. And they actually use a giant fight they did not use in season 1, but it's spliced to help because, of course, it's got to be the Thunder Megazord, so they can't be touching.
I don't get that. Why couldn't they just use the normal Megazord?
They commissioned the Jew 2 footage, and then by season 2, they were like, we can't use the Dino Megazord anymore, so all this original footage we made where they're fighting the Dino Megazord, we have to splice it with stock footage of the Thunder Megazord.
That's on them, then.
It is.
Some highlights for the episode. The first mention of the peace conferences in this episode. I wonder how that's gonna turn out. So I put a little picture in our notes. The putties disguising themselves as kids in the Mighty Morphin Halloween costumes.
That's pretty great. That's when you're just going to the bar to get drunk.
Kim serves an iconic kick to RoboGoat in this episode.
Oh yeah, she like flips 100 feet to kick him.
It is insane.
It's fierce.
Like I said, we get to see Pumpkin Rapper in his second appearance, and his reps are still slaying the game.
Where's the mixtape?
He needs to put his beats on Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's talk about the costumes. Billy is Einstein, of course, because he's a smart one. Kimberly's a Harley Quinn clown. Tommy's a gay pirate. And Bulk and Skull are gladiators, I think. Like I said, it's the best of Mighty Morphin, but that's not saying much.
Zed needed a redemption after Monster Head, so...
All right, let's move on to Zeo.
Ugh.
Austin really doesn't like this one that much.
I really don't like it.
It came from Angel Grove.
It just has no sauce. There's no juice.
Yeah, this is a little more so like a macabre B-movie episode than a Halloween episode.
The lighting is so bad. Like, I could barely even see anything.
A lot of this is black and white. Or fake black and white.
Yeah.
So Adam is up late studying at school on a dark and spooky night. So he has a dream, spoilers, this whole episode's a dream, that while he was sleeping, the Machine Empire took over the Earth and brainwashed everyone into thinking they are characters from a movie called The Bride of Hackensack.
Like New Jersey?
Yes, like New Jersey. So he goes on his little Wizard of Oz journey through Angel Grove, quote unquote, to collect items to give to Zordonicus, aka Zordon, doing his best Wizard of Oz impression because he's literally the Wizard of Oz. You can't beat those allegations.
The flames.
On the side of his face. Even before, like, we knew this was based on Wizard of Oz day 1. So then we burn some footage with Tommy, of course, with him fighting Drill Master, and we learn Adam's been sleeping this whole time. Womp womp. So, some highlights. Some of the performances in this are pretty funny, especially Tanya. Seeing Rita and Zed was a treat, considering it was probably a minute since those two were around, because this is before they came back in their little RV on the moon.
Not so fast, Zeo Ranger!
Zed, Rita. I don't get it. I thought you were...
Not for good! Obviously you thought wrong!
We've come to get you and your little cat, too! I can't tell you how long I've waited to say that!
Looking for your Zeonizer? Well, don't bother. It wouldn't do you any good anyway. Don't worry, Adam. We have everything under control.
Zeo's not my favorite. Rita and Zed in that RV is so good. So good.
Zeo hit that sweet spot for me around that time. It was kind of cool that some of this episode is in black and white.
I would have liked that concept more if I could see.
Alright, so let's talk about the costumes and the alter egos. So Tommy is, of course, a vampire named Tomacula. Rocky's a werewolf named Lord Henry, and he's struggling with a British accent. Billy is, of course, Dr. Frankenstein, who is referred to as William von Hackensack in this. Alpha 5 is Igor / Igor, get it? Tanya is giving us everything as the Bride of Frankenstein / the Bride of Hackensack. And Kat is a witch. She is Valencia, Queen of the Witches. She was also the cat that was following around Adam this whole time, so I guess she was kind of helping him, even though she was an evil witch. Alright, so let's move on to...
Let's not.
All the Disney seasons, they could have done a fucking Halloween episode. It had to be... Power Rangers! Operation Overdrive! Technically, Overdrive's episode Ronnie on Empty is set on Halloween for no reason. It opens and ends with them prepping for a Halloween party at the mansion. This is a two-parter, by the way. This is a two-parter. The episode itself is about Ronnie being captured by Moltor and the Fear Cats, who for some reason want to use her life force to power an egg that powers a Zord. Let's talk about these ugly-ass fucking costumes. I think these are the worst Halloween costumes I have ever seen in the show. So Mac is a robot. This was before the reveal, by the way, so it's kind of like subtle winking.
I think that's funny. That's kind of clever.
Mr. Hartford and Spencer are like, what? Is he malfunctioning? And he's like, I get it. He's just being silly.
He's a silly, goofy guy.
So Dax is a punk, I guess, because he's got like a leather jacket and sunglasses and his hair's spiked up.
He's the furthest thing from that.
Will is a skeleton. Ronnie's a vampire, because we don't have enough of those. Rose is a anime cat girl, I think. She's
a sexy mouse.
Duh. Tyzon is just the most generic superhero you've ever seen.
Which is very fitting for like an alien dude. They just went down to Party City. They didn't use any of Mac's money to make these outfits at all.
You're a billionaire.
Too busy making fucking J-Borgs.
Let's move on to the era of the annual, or mostly annual.
Samurai. First up from the first season is Party Monsters.
Love this episode.
This is a really good one.
I love this. I don't care that it's a good show. It's so fun.
I liked this episode before I gained a better appreciation for Samurai. This is so creative. So, the Nylok, the dead ones anyways, are having a Halloween party in Nylok Heaven, one of the many versions of the afterlife in the Power Rangers universe, reminiscing about how they were killed by the Samurai Rangers. Good times. Meanwhile, Master Xandrick, high off his medicine, wants to go to the party, but Daiyu and Atura are like,
"You're so grumpy. Is that bandana on too tight?"
Ooh, that wasn't a party you wanted to be invited to. The guest list was from the obituary column.
But that means I would have been the life of the party. Get it?
Ouch. That hurt.
Good one, Big Red. Oh, come on, boss. That was funny.
And I thought this was gonna be a happy Halloween.
Moving on to the highlights. Like I said, I love how creative this episode is in a lot of departments. First of all, they built a set for all the villains to interact in and have their Halloween party. They didn't even bother building a set for the samurai villains in general, so this is kind of cool. The Halloween party itself has some cool props. There's a samurai jack-o'-lantern, which is kind of cute. There's some funny jokes like,
"Hey! Who wants to play a good old-fashioned game of bobbing for 4 rewards?"
Well, I'd play, but I don't want to get my hair wet. I got another game for you. Scream like a human!
I love it!
I'll go first.
They drink Sanzu river water as fruit punch, which is kind of cute.
Oh no! The punch bowl's empty! Sanzu river water was the only thing making me feel better!
It also starts off the clip show holiday special trim, but the framing device of it being a party where monsters reminisce makes it unique. They also filmed original footage of the monsters, which I can't say about Lord Zed's Monster Head. This shares a very similar premise.
Very similar premise, and I like the callback to it, but it's done way better.
Yeah, this is one thing that they did better than Mighty Morphin.
Yeah.
Congrats to you, Samurai.
Good on ya.
Also, I do like they got almost every season 1 monster a moment in this episode. An interesting thing about this episode is that there is no footage of the Rangers at all. They're not in this episode.
They're not needed.
Alright, let's talk about the costumes, which isn't the Rangers this time, it's the Moogers. They come trick-or-treating.
So cute. They're just little guys.
So one's a little ghost, one's a witch, one's a spider, and one is a cardboard Samurai Megazord, which is freaking adorable.
I'm obsessed. So good.
10 out of 10.
Who's the howdy y'all monster? What's his name?
Howdy y'all monster?
The one with the guns. What's his name? I think it's the Day Out episode.
Dreadhead, I think?
Yeah. He has a pumpkin that's carved with the samurai red helmet. It's so cute. I just love this. There's so many little details in this episode.
Also, this is Rofer's house, the first monster of the week. Well, technically the first monster of the week, the one that aired first, the one with the long arms. Are we ready to move on to the other samurai Halloween special?
If we must.
Trickster treats. All right, remember how I said Party Monsters is very creative and it's filmed a lot of original footage? This is the exact opposite of that. A Nihilok named Trickster somehow traps the Samurai Rangers in his movie dimension, manipulating their minds and trapping them in different scenarios. And by that I mean like 2.5, maybe. The first scenario has them fighting Moogers who are attacking trick-or-treating furries while dressed up and acting like the animal corresponding to their folding Zord.
This is just so random because they just try to write an episode around footage, but like there's no context for anything.
They're trying to write an episode around footage and they filmed none of them for himself.
Why is Kevin Super Samurai?
I have no idea.
I know it's the Sentai footage, but in the context of this episode, why?
They didn't film any footage themselves. The Rangers are not in this at all, except for stock footage. The second scenario, speaking of weird, has them performing as Mia and the Samurai Dance Machine, where Mia, who is unmorphed, and the show uses unmorphed Shinken Pink footage with no changes. It's just the actress right there on stage.
That is so racist. The song is kind of a bop. Why could you not just film an original scene? Or at the very least, you could have photoshopped Mia's actress into this scene or something.
Or just remade it, because all it is a stage with an audience. They literally did this in an episode of Super Samurai. Why couldn't they just use that same stage? There is an episode where Mia is singing on a stage and you couldn't have filmed around there, did the same thing. I love the song though. I dream of a better tomorrow. Alright, so that's the second scenario. The third scenario is just reused unmorphed footage from the finale episode that hadn't aired yet. So at the time, people were like, oh, there's actually original footage in this, but no, you just gotta wait for the finale. But the thing with this is it's being fast forwarded, it rewound. So there are shots of Rangers attacking Moogers with their swords and them rewinding it and doing it again, and then the ADR them like,
and take this! And take this! And take this!
It is very weird.
So Trickster then shows up to fight with him pulling the dream within a dream within a dream tactic until they're like, we get it! And they just destroy him somehow.
Dream. I just keep thinking of Shark Boy.
All right, let's talk about the highlights.
What highlights?
Well, I put highlights and facts in the section because some of these facts are me just saying this is just so fucking lazy. So Trickster acknowledging how long the morph sequences is pretty funny because this is an episode about burning time. So of course you're going to show the entire morph sequence.
Wow! I know it's Halloween, but that was the longest costume change I've ever seen!
Those sequences feel like they're like 20 minutes long in their own. Him making a joke about it does not make that okay. It's funny, but it's like, oh, fuck yourself. You know exactly what you're doing.
This episode has zero, and I'm telling you, zero original footage. It's either Sentai footage, reused footage from Samurai, and a 3-minute morph sequence.
Not just the morph sequence, but also the full entire Mega Mode sequence.
I think like a fourth of this episode is just summoning Zords and morph sequences.
This just feels like they didn't need to make it.
I guess they were bound to do a Halloween and Christmas episode at this time.
My favorite thing is watching this episode and it's like, directed by... Bitch, what did you direct?
Jonathan Zakor! Zakor is credited as the director of this episode. What did you direct? Yeah, Xandred being abusive to Octor at the end kind of made me giggle because he's mad that Trickster was beat.
Wait! Master! Does this mean we aren't making caramel apples?
That is crazy.
It is funny, but it also is like, should I call someone? This is kind of abusive.
Octoroo, you okay?
I'm sure he's thriving somewhere now. He's still alive.
He is, yeah.
All right, let's talk about the costumes. So, of course, the Rangers correspond to their folding Zords. So, Jaden is wearing lion ears. Kevin is wearing like some headpiece for a dragon. Mike is wearing bear ears. Emily is wearing like an ape ears, like a mouth and like a tail. That was cute. Mia's wearing a turtle shell, and Antonio has an octopus head. And he has tentacles that he uses in the fight against Moogers. Alright, moving on to something that's not really that better. Megaforce.
It's fine.
But thankfully, for some reason, this is the season that only had one holiday special each. There is no Super Megaforce ones for some reason. I do not know. Raising spirits! Yay! So it's Halloween in Harwood County, and the Megaforce Rangers are hanging around in their costumes, minus Emma, who's baking a pumpkin pie for some reason. And the others are at Ernie's Brain Freeze carving pumpkins. So while Emma's baking a pie, the other 4 Megaforce Rangers get their fortune told by some random fortune teller in a cloak. And clip show ahoy! Focused on monsters. This wants to be party monsters so bad.
You will never be her. How dare you stand where she said.
This feels boring and lazy because it's just showing them footage of monsters, which I said is similar to Party Monsters, but that episode is kind of them reminiscing instead of just looking at a ball. It's like, look at this footage, guys. Isn't it cool? And there's like some way to figure out the identity of the Power Rangers. Like, you didn't know those already? Like, every monster this season knew the Rangers were before. After the fortune teller is fucking over it, he reveals himself to be Glitcher.
Oh no! I've got news for you! You're not the only ones with a secret identity! I'm Glitcher! Oh. You lousy Power Rangers are the ones who destroyed my cousin Gremlin! But I'll show you! I'll get revenge by finishing what he started! Out of my way! Unhappy Halloween!
A cousin to a random monster that barely had anything to do with anything. It was like a monster in a group of monsters that fought the Rangers when they got their power up. Such a memorable monster. So Glitcher, I'm trying not to say glitchy because it's very similar. So Glitcher causes chaos around Harwood County until Emma comes in with a bowl of flour to slow him down and jump down on his dick with the Phoenix Megazord. Alright, so some highlights and thoughts. I'm interested in the story on how Troy and Jake decided to dress up as a cowboy and a cow. Missed opportunity not having Roman and I be in this episode, but I guess he has a Christmas episode we'll talk about in a few months. It's kind of stupid. Emma spends the whole episode baking a pie, but I guess that's the reason they went with having a bowl of flour in the footage. So let's talk about some costumes. Troy is a cowboy. Jake is a cow. Gia is a white witch. Noah is Einstein. How clever and creative. We've never seen the smart one dressed up as Einstein before. And Emma is nothing.
Why doesn't she get a costume?
She's baking a pie.
That's not fair, though.
I know. And Ernie's a pirate. Arg. Oh my god, finally, some good fucking food.
Finally, some good food.
Let's move on to our favorite, Dino Charge. This is the best one, period.
This might be my favorite.
Alright, so Ghostest with the mostest. It's Halloween in Amber Beach, and the Dinosaur Museum is preparing for a Halloween party. Sound familiar? Chase did his part by buying costumes for everybody, which are all ghost costumes.
Chase! Great job on my ghost costume!
Ooh, wait a second. You're a ghost too?
Either someone has filled the base with mirrors, or we're all ghosts.
I like that we look same. Like tribe.
Even under that fine costume, I can tell you're unhappy.
Chase, you made us all the same costume?
Yeah, well, I look so good in the first one, I figured I'd make 6. Even under this sheet, I look awesome.
At first, I was a little bummed by this because I wanted to see everyone in costumes, but then Dino Supercharge had a special, so I'm okay with it. Unfortunately for them, Sledge's crew has a scheme cooking where the revived monster Duplicon turns the monster Memorella into a clone of a captured ranger. So it's up to Kendall to figure out who the monster is by grilling them with questions with them hooked on a lie detector. So that's how we get our clip show stuff. After figuring who the imposter is, they fight Memorella with a new Dino Charger, which is pretty much a Cupid charger, which Shelby almost used to make Tyler fall in love with her. That was on purpose. But the blaster accidentally hits Chase, who falls in love with himself.
Hey, you are truly beautiful.
What?
Who did he see?
I
don't know. What are you doing later, you handsome rascal?
Great. Now he's even more in love with himself.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, let's talk about the highlights. This episode introduces that machine they use like 1,000 times to revive monsters like 1,000,000 times. I love that Curio is upset with Twigga tweeting. He just wants candy.
Happy Halloween! Oh boy, I can't wait to go trick-or-treating!
I love all the Curio focus in this episode. It is so good.
It's so adorable, especially when he comes back to the ship with all that candy in the little pod.
A successful night of trick-or-treating.
Kendall dressing up as a Cupid to introduce the Dino Cupid Charger is so camp. Also, her performance grilling the others is pretty iconic too. She's like in Law and Order or something. She is on a different level than everybody else right now.
She is Olivia Benson.
The twist revealing who Memarilla was is pretty good. Spoilers, it's Coda, but he's found innocent early on, so you don't really think about it, but then you remember, oh, she has his memory, so I guess the detector is not going to detect that he's lying about a story, but the way Kendall was able to figure it out is that Coda called her Miss Morgan.
He's the only one who doesn't call her Miss Morgan.
I kind of knew it was going to be one of the guys, because when Memarilla captures the captured ranger, the dude is like 6 feet tall, so I was like, oh, it's going to be Coda.
That's definitely not Shelby.
Yeah, you weren't going to make it the one girl.
And I thought it was going to be Ivan, because Ivan is never questioned. He's like the last one after Shelby. So I was like, oh, it's going to be Ivan. And then Coda walks in. I'm like, what?
That, not me. Because I'm me. Yes? Indeed, you are you, Coda.
So that kind of gagged me, though. I didn't guess that.
I didn't either.
Speaking of Shelby, though, it's kind of iconic that she was going to risk getting killed by her teammates thinking she was an evil villain just because she didn't want to tell the truth about liking Tyler.
That's crazy.
She's like, I will die with this secret. That's a very girl thing to do. Like, I'm not telling that secret. No, fuck it, I'm dying.
Also, this is kind of unrelated, but I'm kind of sad they didn't use the baby form for Memarilla.
I know. They just kept robbing us.
All right, say the thing, Austin.
Please stop the violence.
Oh, well, their loss is our gain. All right, let's talk about the costumes. Tyler is a ghost. Coda is a ghost. Chase is a ghost. Riley is a ghost. Shelby is a ghost. Ivan is a ghost. And Kendall is Cupid.
It's okay because we get actual costumes in the next one.
I was bummed at first that they didn't get their original costumes because we didn't know we were going to get 2 Halloween Christmas because Megaforce only gave us 1. So can we go to trial?
We're already on trial.
Well, we're getting ready to go to trial. I don't know what you mean about going now.
Right, let's talk about the first trial by the Halloween Intergalactic Court, Trick or Trial. So it's Halloween in Dino Charge World again. So Poisey and Curio decide to release a crooked attorney named Scumlaw to take the Dino Charge Rangers to the Halloween Intergalactic Court to frame them in the eyes of the court for harming innocent monsters. Doesn't that sound familiar?
Are we lucky that there's no such thing as a Christmas court? Because that would just be stupid.
What would you even be on trial for?
Oh, I'm not Holly and or Jolly? Fuck out of here with that.
A concept of the highest court in the PRU being the Halloween Intergalactic Court is kind of funny. So we clearly know how the Halloween court works, but this case has the court which summoned the spirits of fallen monsters to tell lies about how they were innocent victims of the Dino Charge Rangers.
How could the spirits really be good witnesses, honestly? They're dead. They have a bias.
And it's kind of funny because like the reactions from the Rangers are like, they're lying! Stop lying! Thankfully for the main 5, Kendall and Ivan aren't taken by the court, but they oversee them being sent to the court, so they call up their reserves to assist them in exposing Scumlaw, which they do, and they're exonerated of all their crimes. Alright, let's move on to highlights. Despite being on trial at the Halloween Intergalactic Court, it's a pretty cool lore drop, and the idea of it is kind of cool. Not surprised they used it again. It's kind of a cool concept for a Halloween episode. It's kind of fucked up that James fucking Navarro didn't bother to celebrate Halloween with his son until Kendall calls him for help.
It's because he's a piece of shit, Ray. Why are you fucking surprised?
I'm not surprised.
Don't give him any kind of credit because he's a piece of shit. You should just expect him to be anywhere. How many years did he not see his son? Oh, because my son won't understand that I don't age. Oh,
he's gonna be attacked by Fury. Tyler kicked his ass on Morph once.
Right? It's like, get out of here. Your excuses are bullshit.
Alright, let's talk about the costumes. So Tyler is a matador. Coda's a samurai. And it's the only time Coda has his hair tied up like that. Chase is a vampire. And he is struggling to talk through those teeth.
Because they're probably just those ones from the candy.
Like Billy before him, Riley is Sherlock Holmes. Shelby's a pirate, Arg. Ivan's a scarecrow. Kendall's a musketeer. And Prince Philip and James fucking Navarro are mummy guards. How original.
It looks good on Philip, but I don't give 2 shits about except James bullshit ass fucking Navarro.
Moving on to Ninja Steel.
A good episode of Ninja Steel? What?
I know.
Literally, the only good ones are the Halloween and the Super Christmas.
Not that fucking endgame bullshit with the Ninja Steel one. It's literally endgame. Alright, so Grave Robber is about Halloween at Summer Cove High School, and the Ninja Steel Rangers are getting ready to go trick-or-treating because they're little babies.
I still trick-or-treated in high school.
They treat the Ninja Steel Rangers like they are in kindergarten.
Realistically, Brody would probably have tested very low.
The way Sarah immediately went to cheating.
Yeah! What?
Then some weird lady shows up in all black. We have no idea who this is, by the way. It's just some old lady that donates the board game they play called Grave Robber. So 5 of the 6 Rangers are down to play this, but Levi is not participating because he just doesn't like board games. Literally, that's the reason. He's like, I don't like board games.
Who doesn't like board games?
Don't you think you want to celebrate Halloween with your brother? You haven't seen in 10 years.
I think it would have been a better thing just to have him have to go to a concert.
Oh yeah, he had a show to do or something.
That would have been better. Or there's going to be a Halloween dance and he has to get ready for that. But it's also a way to get him out of footage because they used very early Ninja footage they hadn't used yet for little boss fights. So Grave Robber is essentially them going through a board game. Well, it's kind of like D&D a little bit. They go on little quests. In each of those little quests, they have to do a certain thing to fight a monster. And that's a very interesting way they could reuse all this old footage that they didn't use. And Cosmo Royale is the brains behind this whole thing. And they actually use the game show concept in an interesting way, actually using Galaxy Warriors as a game. So they start playing Grave Robber. So let's talk about the scenarios. The first one is with Trap Saw, and all that is they just burn some footage of fighting them in Kudabots until Brody's just like, I'm gonna finish them off. Okay. The second one is Hat Track, where the team flies kites to chase down this monster, with Sarah making a remote to jam the signal, because he was like the one that was like a satellite monster. Sloger is the third scenario. He uses his slowing down mist on the Rangers that makes them slow down. He also has a beam struggle with Preston before this. Next one is Spinferno, where Calvin himself has to stop a truck from driving over a cliff with a dubbed civilian inside. He kind of succeeds. He saves the civilian, but he misses the net, and that means he loses. The last scenario is them fighting a Skullgator and the Robo Rider Zord, which is Levi's little blue Zord. But then Levi comes to the rescue of them and destroys his hourglass, which I guess that means they're free from being in this game. And there you go. So Levi's gets a little heart-to-heart with Mick, where he's like, oh, I mean, you don't like board games, but they want to spend time with you. He comes in, he saves the day, blah, blah, blah. Highlights, I really liked the board game aspect of this episode. It was a clever way to burn through footage. Also, having a game in the season where the villains are contestants in a game show.
What a concept. I thought that was going to be the whole damn season.
You would think that would be the whole villain gig on its own, but no. At least they knew to give Cosmo a ton of screen time this episode because he is the best character of the season. Also, another good thing about this episode is that there is no Victor money at all this episode, so it makes it one of the best on its own.
No stupid farting balloon shit or whatever.
Alright, let's talk about the costume. So, Brody is a British guard. Preston is a wizard. Calvin is Frankenstein, but he takes the little headpiece off after 5 seconds.
You mean Frankenstein's monster?
Yeah.
Whatever, you know what I mean, bitch. He's not even Frankenstein's monster. He just has a giant coat on the whole episode. He looks like one of the vampires in Red Tide. Sarah's a unicorn. Haley's a witch. And Mick's a pumpkin.
So cute.
Does anyone else have anything to say about Grave Robber before we move on to the other Ninja Steel Halloween special?
It was a clever way to use footage that they didn't use in other episodes.
I prefer that over them being like, remember when this happened?
Yes, it didn't really feel like a clip show at all.
Speaking of something that isn't really a clip show either, because they do a clever way of using footage in this, Monster Mix-Up.
Another good Ninja Steel episode.
Yeah, this is actually pretty good too, because they use Dino Charge shit. That's why. It's Halloween in Summer Cove. Again.
Don't you mean Halloween Cove? Bitch, it ain't summer anymore.
And the Ninja Steel Rangers are ready to go trick-or-treating. That is until a group of monsters with no affiliation to Galaxy Warriors named the Gruesome Grumps ambush the Rangers at the worst time, when their ninja power stars are being adjusted. How convenient they can't morph.
Yeah, from.
So the lead, Versix, performs a spell to switch their bodies. Yes, this is also a body swap episode, with the intentions of putting their old bodies on trial at the Halloween Intergalactic Court to, I guess, make a new life for themselves, even though one of them is gross to be a human. So one of them comments like, yeah, being in a human body feels gross. I'm like, well, guess what, Mimi? You're going to be in that body forever. So Brody and Sarah are able to escape while the other four are put on trial as the Gruesome Grunts because they think they're the Gruesome Grunts, and then they think the Gruesome Grunts are the Ninja Steel Rangers because they're in their bodies. Of course, things are wild because this is the Halloween Intergalactic Court, getting strikes about lying about garlic.
He was so distracted by the garlic, I was able to defeat him.
That's baloney! I love garlic, and I've never tried to bite anyone.
Then prove it. Try some garlic. I have some right here.
Great! Now I'll show you. Oh! Ugh, it's disgusting!
See? He hates it. Just like we said.
Wait, the garlic weakness must have transferred when our bodies were swapped!
Give me a break.
Guilty! 2 more strikes. 1 for the crime, and another for lying about garlic.
Come on, it's just garlic!
They also get strikes for assuming pumpkins can't sing. The team is nearly vaporized until Mick comes to the rescue, with the 6 grunts being vaporized.
That's making me real nervous.
And Versix being blown up by the Ninja Steel Rangers because they use his Sentai footage. So some highlights. I like that they used the Halloween Intergalactic Court again, but didn't do the exact same thing like they did with the Dino Charge episode. At first, you think they're going to do that because they start off it with them being like clip showy. They show a clip and they're like, oh, come on, this is a show. Everyone knows this shit. You can't be pulling that shit again.
Similar framing device, but they do something different with it.
I like that the Court Witch got a promotion and she's in a nice little pantsuit. She kind of gets like Scumlaw's role in this episode.
Good for her.
We also learn that the Pumpkin Judges are a part of a barbershop quartet, and their favorite word is justice. The cast seems to have fun acting like monsters because Preston was chewing it, literally, as the monster. He's like chewing on Preston's wand. It's very funny.
Pumpkins, please! I can prove that this is all a lie! All I need is my magic wand! Hey, that's mine! I need my wand to do spells in this body! Give it to me and I'll prove he's a fraud!
You've got to be kidding, Buster. There's no way we're giving an accused monster a magic wand.
But...
This is what we needed the entirety of Ninja Steel. They got such a great moment to shine as actors in this, playing monsters.
I feel like there's little glints here and there on Ninja Steel, but it's like clouded in all the executive meddling. Like I said, the clip show aspect of it is Gruesome Grunts in the Ranger's body make up fake stories to tell them, and then they show footage from these goofy episodes they didn't adapt. There's like one scenario where the monster Fangor in Calvin's body talks about beating Fangor with garlic, and then we see that scene play out and didn't really happen. It's just footage from the ninja that they used.
Girl, this is gaslighting the episode.
And then we see the orange monster Stabarus fight the Ninja Steel Rangers while they're wearing capes, because that was the episode where we seen the GLO in the ninja. Which for some reason they didn't do a Ninja Steel. They couldn't have gotten Nick Sampson for that. He lives in New Zealand. Preston talks about going to a magic show and being odd at magic. They could have done something with that, but they didn't. Also, Victor and Monty were also not in this episode, which made it great.
Thank God.
Let's talk about the costumes. Brody is a gladiator. Preston's a caveman. Get it?
I do.
Calvin's a luchador, I think. He's got like stuff on his face and he's like wearing tights. Haley's a hippie, boring. Sarah's literally just Captain Marvel. And Levi's a pharaoh.
Been there, done that.
Moving on to the only Halloween special from Beast Morphers. Hypnotic Halloween.
It's alright.
I think this year was like the first time I rewatched it in a while, so.
I don't revisit this one a lot.
The first half is really good where they're doing the Halloween stuff, and then the second half is literally just like 10 minutes of burning Sentai footage.
Yeah.
Alright, so it's Halloween in Coral Harbor. The Beast Morpher Rangers, minus Devin, are getting into costume to watch some corny Halloween movies on, to quote Nate, a sketchy streaming service.
So, I found us a film to watch on this weird streaming service, but hey, it's free, and the reviews say it'll scare our socks off.
Not me. I've never worn a sock in my life.
This streaming service is revealed to be a trap by Scrozzle to hypnotize the team into thinking they are their costumes.
Rangers in costumes here. Listen closely, loud and clear. No longer are you playing pretend. You are your character till the very end.
I'm honestly surprised it took this long for them to do this concept. That seems to be like a very trippy thing to do for Halloween. So there's shenanigans, and then of course Evan comes in after they're hypnotized, so he has to be the one to snap them out of it in clip show manner. So he's able to break the spells by going into costume himself and reminding people who they are, and then they're like, okay, we got a monster attack. Let's burn some footage with some fork monster. And the episode ends with them going back to that stuff, and Devin being more open to dressing up, which is kind of weird considering he's a video game nerd. You'd think he would be into cosplay, but I guess it took this to want him to dress up as his favorite video game character, Sensei Bones. Let's talk about the highlights. The stuff with the Rangers acting as different characters was very fun, especially with Nate and Steel. They were really funny.
Dr. Frankenstein, am I really so hideous that even you can't look at me?
Yes! Creating you was a grave error!
Steel dressed up as Frankenstein and wanting some popcorn, holding out his hands for a bucket, was fucking adorable. Do you remember that, Austin?
Yes.
He's like, and he can't even eat because he doesn't have a mouth. Poor thing.
I rewinded the episode to point it out to you.
Also, a very funny Easter egg in this episode. In Grid Battle Force HQ, you can see a pumpkin judge as one of the pumpkins. We're always watching.
So scary.
Let's talk about the costumes. Ravi is, of course, Sherlock Holmes. This is the third one.
I'm so sick of seeing Sherlock Holmes. I'm sorry.
With a bad British accent.
By Jove, I've got it!
Zoe is a Viking named Ingrid Ironaxe.
She's crazy.
I love that she came up with a backstory for her costume.
Didn't even catch a word of whatever she said.
I had no idea what she was saying, but girl, I was living. Nate is Dr. Frankenstein. And you know what's funny? When he is Frankenstein, he's just a scared little baby. And nothing changes. Steel is Frankensteel, which is fucking adorable.
Love.
Steel can do no wrong in my eyes. And Devin dresses up as Sensei Bones, a character from some game he plays. Alright, moving on to the only Dino Fury Halloween episode. And I put Halloween episode
in quotes.
Simon Bennett saw they had 2 episodes extra to use, and they're like, we could use this episode to introduce Lord Zed back into the universe. Halloween of all things, that is hilarious. And this episode is important too because there's stuff in this episode that come back. Alright, so it's Halloween in Pine Ridge, but that doesn't really matter because this is the big comeback of Lord Zed returning, being revived by some dude named Rayagul. And he's this bitch for some reason because he's got a compliance collar on. But let's forget about that because let's focus on the Halloween shenanigans now. We don't need to be talking about that stuff. So Buzzblast is having a Halloween dance and the team is getting ready. So Zato decides he wants to be a box. Ollie also brags about being fearless, so his team decides to make a haunted maze near Dinohenge. But let's put a pause on that because that stuff is all about fighting Zed and him getting on the board for season 2 in Cosmic Fury. So yeah, fight with Zed. Rayagul revives some monsters, burn Sunday footage, the end. They get captured, sleep because blah 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 blah. We've reviewed this before, you don't need to hear it. Anyway, the stuff is solved and the team gets ready for Halloween dance. With Ollie saying he does have a fear now, losing his friends.
Aww.
Everyone calls him like a freaking Dino Fury, but I like him.
He is a prick like 95% of the time.
But that's why I like him. He's flawed. Alright, let's talk about some highlights. I know I didn't say too much about this episode, but a lot of the stuff revolves around setting up things for the future episodes that we don't need to focus on here because we are just talking about Halloween stuff. But the little Halloween we did get was cute, like some of the costumes. So Zato is an Earth Knight.
Where's Zato?
Oh!
An Earth Knight, how wonderful.
It took me 20 minutes to put on. Humans actually fought in this?
Amelia's a vampire, boring. Ollie's an astronaut. Izzy's a leprechaun because she gets a hold of rainbow and she's a lesbian.
I don't know how I feel about the leprechaun. Like, it's cute, but this is a different holiday, girl.
Let's be real. It's green. She's the Green Ranger, and she's gay, so rainbow. And Javi is a zombie version of his dad.
I love it. I fucking love it.
Crazy.
That is daddy issues to the extreme. I thought Tyler had daddy issues.
See, since Zato couldn't have the daddy issues, gotta have somebody have daddy issues.
So let's talk about our top 3 and bottom 3 Halloween episodes. I would say my top 3 is Ghostest, Party Monsters, and maybe Trick or Trial or Grave Robber. I don't know.
I would say, yeah, Ghostest, Party Monsters, Trick or Trial is my top 3.
It's the same. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty obvious where the quality is.
I think Monster Mix-Up is a close.
If we did a top 5, that would be in the top 5.
Yeah, for sure.
But we have really kind of similar tastes when it comes to that stuff, though. It needs to have good costumes. Like, I know it's always a clip show, but present it in a different way.
And I feel like the bottom 3, I feel like it's too easy to say Running Empty, so I'm going to omit that. I would say Lord Zed's Monster Heads, Life's a Masquerade, and maybe it came from
Life's a Masquerade?
I don't know, that episode's kind of boring.
Well, my bottom 3 is Zed's Monster Heads, Trickster Treat, and it came from Angel Grove.
But I like that song, though.
I like the song too, but it's still racist.
My faves are my faves, and the others are just kind of there.
Who had the best costumes?
That's hard because I feel like some of them are really good and like others.
You'll have a couple of duds.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think Super Ninja Steel had all 6. I feel that that's the best Super Ninja Steel. That Gladiator costume's good, the Pharaoh costume's good, the Caveman costume's good.
I will give some honorable mentions to Trick or Trial, though, because there was some good ass shit there. Like Kendall with the fucking mustache. Between those two teams right there, because I really like Shelby's outfit. The vampire with the cravat. So I would go for those two, would be the top 2 sets of costumes. Because Kendall never misses with her Halloween costumes. I think she secretly loves it.
With all the Halloween costume ideas, I can't believe there's like some costumes that have been used like 3 times. Like Frankenstein is used like 4 times. Sherlock Holmes 3 times. Pharaoh's twice. Alright, are we good?
I mean, we're gonna have to be. It's almost time for us to meet our fates.
Hear ye, hear ye. The Halloween Intergalactic jury has reached a verdict.
Already? It's been like 5 minutes.
Actually, it's been 3 hours.
What?
Time flies while you're waiting to be vaporized.
Jury, what is your verdict? Guilty.
Oh my Grid, this could not be happening.
Who do I have to talk to about my last meal? Because I'm craving an extra large Stellar Gorilla from Jungle Karma Pizza.
Bananas on pizza? Ugh! What are you, a mutant?
No.
The sentence for your crimes against monsters has been decided.
Here it comes.
The 3 of you have been sentenced to combat. If you can successfully defeat me in battle, you will be pardoned of all your crimes.
Is that all? I thought we'd be vapor.
Don't listen to them. We accept.
Oh, hell yeah. I've been itching for a good brawl.
Challenge accepted to the field of battle.
Are we on Earth?
I think so. We haven't been here since the legendary battle, so I can't tell which city this is.
How many Earth cities have huge-ass arenas like this one, though?
You'd be surprised.
Enough yapping, let's morph already. Ready, guys?
Ready.
Metallic Star One.
It's Morphin time! Ranger of Knowledge, Grid Ranger Metallix, Silver!
Ranger of Queerness, Grid Ranger Metallix, Rosé!
Ranger of Critique, Grid Ranger Metallix, Gold!
Grid Ranger Slay, ready to save the day! Summon Metallic Star Saber! Metallic Silver Star Saber!
Metallix Rosé Star Saber.
Metallix Gold Star Saber!
Kia!
Yeah!
So, Ray, how are we going to take out this walking butt trumpet?
Let's try and take him from all sides. Austin, you take him from the left. Amber, you take him from the right. And I'll take him head on.
Right.
It won't be that easy.
Well, that didn't work.
Should we summon our metallic star weapons?
He might be expecting that. He clearly knows how we fight.
What else can we do?
I got it. We can use the Ranger Orbs.
Fuck yeah, I've been wanting to use these.
What team?
You know.
I do.
Let's do it!
Summon Silver Dino Charge Ranger Orb.
Summon Pink Dino Charge Ranger Orb.
Summon Gold Dino Charge Ranger Orb.
Dino Charger, engage!
Energize! Unleash the power! Power Rangers charge! Titanosaurs, Power Ranger Silver!
Triceratops, Power Ranger Pink.
Pterodactyl, Power Ranger Gold.
Dinosaur
Might, ready to fight. Power Rangers Dino Charge!
Well, this is freaking sweet!
Yeah, but saying Power Ranger Pink instead of Dino Charge Pink almost made me gag.
Anyways, here's the plan. Me and Amber will distract the court jester by firing blasts from our weapons, while Austin will sneak up from behind and stab them in the gut with the Triceradrill.
What's a jolly good plan, my good chum?
That Tricera rocks.
Why are we doing accents and puns?
Well, it felt appropriate dressed in this gold spandex.
And I just like puns.
Alright, team. Let's Dino Charge at this menace. Whatever, let's do this.
Ready for round 2?
I'm always ready to beat down a clown. Summon Gold Terra Saber!
Dino Charger, engage!
Titano Morph Blaster!
Dino Charger, engage!
Terra Lightning Blitz!
Titano Morpher Blast, Final Strike! Anytime, Austin.
What? Oh, sorry. I was taking selfies for Space Talk. It's not every day you get an opportunity like this. Energize! Dino Steel. Armor on. This may hurt. A lot! Triceradrill!
Oh! Hear ye. I've been defeated.
And that's how it's done. Mwah.
We did it!
I don't know where this "we" came from, since I was the one to inflict the final blow. You're welcome, by the way.
That's only because me and Amber were distracting him so you could hit him from the back.
Are you too sure we beat him?
We blew him up, so...
I think we're good. If this dude was gonna grow, we would have seen some sort of beam by now.
Yeah, that's true. We'd be pretty screwed, though, since we don't have Zords.
Yet.
You are now released from custody. Court adjourned.
Whew, that was a relief.
Would have been nice if they could send us back to the spaceport!
Let's not rock the pumpkins, Austin.
Austin's right, though. We don't even know where we are.
Let me check. Hold on.
Is that a...
space taxi?
Hey guys, what's up?
Glitchy?
Chompy? What are you two doing here?
You guys just disappeared like the last time. Instead of crying about it and eating chicken nuggies, I decided to ask Chica to pinpoint your location. See?
Look at our little dude being super mature.
Oh, and you brought Chompy too?
Of course I brought Chompy. He's my friend.
Where are we, by the way?
We're at Amber Beach. It's pretty cool you got a city named after you, Amby.
I know, right? I kind of rock.
That's super convenient. You could probably still make it to the costume party.
Hell yeah!
Well, what are you two waiting for? Hop in.
Fuck yeah! First place! Suck it, bitches!
Hey, my little oscillators. I'm here with Chase Randall and Riley Griffin to ask the question you've all been dying to hear. So, Riley, which one of you is the...
I love candy corn. Nom nom. Tired, Chompy. This is all for me.
Glitchy?
Yes, boss?
I want to apologize for scaring you earlier. And the time before that.
That's okay. I wasn't that scared.
I just wanted to say how proud I am of you. I know how scary all of this can be, but you've handled it so well. And you've grown up a lot since Gridmaster Emerald brought us together.
Really? I love you, boss.
I love you too, Glitchy.
Oh my god, is Ray hugging Glitchy?
Wow. Guess nearly being vaporized by pumpkins can really change a person.
Does that mean I can get a kitty for Christmas?
Don't push it, Glitchy.